Today on Retirement Solutions.
Big money mistakes and what you can do about it.
They have a strong emotional attachment to those particular holdings. They don't want to get rid of them.
Can you time the market?
Welcome to Retirement Solutions with Bill Smith, the show dedicated to helping individuals and business owners achieve financial peace of mind. Sponsored by W.A. Smith Financial Group. And now, your host. He's the founder and CEO of W.A. Smith Financial Group, Bill Smith.
All right, welcome out to the show. I'm Bill Smith, your host. And joining me as always, my co-host,
pulling the rabbit out of the hat,
Robin Swoboda.
Hello, everybody.
Movie star,
Yes.
veteran in the news industry.
Do you know I just recently got a check from the Disney Corporation for my role in the Avengers?
Wow.
So I get them periodically, and
Okay.
I had a brief speaking role, and of course, I sent it right to Zach at W.A. Smith Financial and say, sock this away, baby. I got to get my mansion in the hills.
That's right. Yeah. Well, welcome out to the show. You know, a lot of people, they wonder, what does a comprehensive plan look like?
Yeah, because we talk about it. It's very important.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that. Well, specifically protecting yourself from 4 big money mistakes.
That's part of it, right?
Right.
Big money mistakes and what you can do about it.
Because a comprehensive plan will keep you from that.
Right.
Also, we're going to talk about how falling in love with investments can wreck your retirement plan. Sometimes falling in love can wreck your retirement plan too.
Yes.
Take it from me.
That's right.
And can timing the markets work for you? That's another story for another show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take it away, Bill. Did I
You
just
don't want to
derail you?
You don't want to have the divorce can wreck a retirement.
Absolutely.
You know, there's
Absolutely.
people. So
Yeah.
even if that happened to you, it's not too late. It's not too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Until
So
you're
I met Robin
10 years ago.
11.
11. That's
Because
right.
this is our 10th season, and we actually started the show a little before.
Yeah.
So
When we started
all right.
dating. No,
You
that's
don't
not
care
true.
about how long we've known each other. What you want to know is, Bill, what are those 4 big
Right.
money mistakes? Well,
Yeah.
the first one, let's throw it out there. I see this so many times. People buy a product or a
Yes.
strategy
Yeah.
without having a comprehensive plan. Like, in other words, they don't know. Maybe they bought it for the wrong reasons.
What would those reasons be?
Well, I'll give you a great example. You see these commercials for annuities all the time.
Okay.
They're promising X rates and income, and while all of that is fine, completely fine. I don't have a problem with annuities. What people do is they maybe buy them for the wrong reason. So why do you need an annuity? It's for income.
Right.
Well, my question then is, okay, great. Maybe you bought it for the right reason. When will you take it? So the difference between what we do for people versus most advisors, Robin, is we're going to build a comprehensive plan that if you choose an annuity,
Yes.
right? We
Right.
don't.
Right.
We're going to give you, there's more than one way to do this.
Yes.
But if you're being sold a product by a product salesman who are selling you an annuity,
They don't know your big plan.
maybe they do, maybe
Maybe
they
they
don't.
don't.
But if they're selling the annuity, okay, versus what we do is build a comprehensive plan and we show you, okay, there's 2 ways to solve this need for income. You can purchase an annuity or you can do this strategy. Which do you like? And Robin, I would tell you that there's 3 kinds of families that we find ourselves working with.
Okay.
So I don't want to jump into this. I'm maybe getting ahead of myself a little bit, which we talk about it. But they're either super safe, they're okay with risk, or they're a combination of both.
Okay.
And so we work with all of those people.
Yeah.
And the people who want to have risk and growth, they typically don't purchase an annuity. The people who want to have safety, they can't afford loss, they're the ones that typically fashion annuities into their plan.
Right.
Maybe you want to have a spouse. But so many times, Robin, I see that not only that, is that they were sold something. Now, I say that as an example. You could replace that with mutual fund, with stock, with bond, a strategy. And so we have to build purpose in a plan, and that's exactly what we're going to show you how to do.
And I'm keying in on the word we. When you mean we, our team, there are a lot of people who make the mistake of DIYing their retirement.
Which is the second big mistake. Now,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem if you want to handle your own retirement. That's fine. But here's what I find. You're not a professional.
Right.
I do this.
Right.
The difference between what we do and what they do is we do this for a living in a big way.
Yes. Yeah.
You do it maybe because you enjoy it and it's a hobby, but here's the problem with that. Don't forget about your spouse.
Yeah.
Because when something happens to you, Mr. DIYer, are going to put that in the lap of your spouse who doesn't want to deal with that. So, and I would tell you, the DIYers typically miss a lot.
And you don't want to.
When you think comprehensive retirement income strategy, comprehensive investment strategy, comprehensive tax plan, comprehensive healthcare strategy, comprehensive estate plan.
And it's all under one roof.
You need a single team member helping you keep all that. If you're a DIYer, you need to be responsible for making sure all of those are working together, and it's going to happen the way you want.
And
I'm
it
not
doesn't
saying
matter.
you can't do it,
but
but that's a big mistake I see people make.
don't have a
We
carpenter
can handle
put
it
in your plumbing.
ourselves. Why? Because you think it's going to cost too much.
All right. All you have to
Well,
do
we
is
save people
call.
more.
Yeah.
So call us.
Call us or text the word schedule to 800-878-6223 for your complimentary retirement tune-up today. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Retirement Solutions with Bill Smith, and we are talking about the 4 big retirement mistakes people make, and we've already covered buying a product and they don't know why,
Right.
and DIYing their retirement plan. And I think people DIY because they either love it or they think they're saving money, which leads us into mistake number 3.
Big one. And
Big
this is
one.
this is taxes. And
Yes.
so here's where having a quarterback on your team and having some advanced tax planning knowledge can really help. Now, for most of you, maybe your advisor can't give tax advice. Well, we have a tax planning division where when we build a comprehensive plan for our clients,
Yes.
certainly this becomes a big part of it. So back to the DIYer who says, I'm saving money. Well, if you hire us, you will pay us a fee to manage your wealth. That's how we make money. You're going to pay us a fee. And but the beauty of it is you're paying something now,
Right.
and what are you missing? What is not being looked at?
Can you give us an example?
So let's
you've
talk
seen?
about an example.
Okay. Yeah.
There's 5 key areas to a plan. So you have income. How would you like to have tax-free income? What could that equal over your lifetime?
Sure.
I don't know if that's possible for you. It's not possible for everyone. But can't we at least look at that
Right. Right.
for you?
And have you looked at that for
That's
Your clients.
we do that. Have you? Right? I don't. The second one is investment strategy. How can you maximize the tax efficiency of your investments? Have you done that? Well, maybe you think you have, but has your advisor communicated with the tax person? We had an example
Yeah.
recently
This is
where
big.
where the client's CPA wasn't communicating with the financial advisor, and the financial advisor wasn't communicating,
Right.
they were doing their thing. They were staying in their own lanes, blinders on,
Yeah.
and they didn't, I don't know if it's they didn't know or they didn't care, but either way, because of the lack of communication, the client was missing out on a huge benefit. He had some carryover losses. that the advisor was unaware of.
Okay.
What this allowed us to do is to do a conversion, $150,000 into a tax-free account.
Wow.
Zero.
Wow.
Why? Because we led the team.
Yes. Yeah.
We led their team for them. We communicated with the accountant. By the way, that accountant went bye-bye. They
bet.
hired our team.
I bet. Yes. Yeah.
So we have that team for you. You want comprehensive?
You want-
I think everybody wants comprehensive.
You want the right hand to know what the left hand is doing.
That's right. So the mistake is this, is not paying attention to, can I lower my taxes?
Yeah.
The assumption is, well, I have a CPA. Didn't matter in that case, he had a CPA,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah,
I have an advisor. I have a financial plan. Doesn't mean anything. The question is, who is leading your team?
Right. Right.
It's who, not
And-
how.
And the other big mistake is you don't have a plan. And that's
That's
what
the
we're talking
last
about.
one. For having a comprehensive plan, that's like the glue, Robin, that holds the entire thing together. It keeps, the plan is as much for me as it is for you.
Right.
It's as much for as our advisors as it is for you. It's like, think of it like this. If you were going down a road that had 0 guardrails and you were going up a mountainside, how fast would you drive?
Very slow.
You drive slow.
Right.
Now, if there was a wall and huge guardrails, and you knew on the other side it's that same hill, there's nothing different. You're going up this mountain, but you have this wall, this huge guardrail. Would you go faster? Maybe.
Maybe.
I would think.
Maybe. Yeah.
So think of it like this. The comprehensive plan is the guardrails that give you the confidence to go faster if you want to.
Bill,
And that's a choice.
Yeah.
You get to make that
Right.
decision.
But-
So many advisors, and this is why we're different, they dictate to you what you should be versus, or what they're selling versus
what's in your best interest?
what's in your best interest,
Yes.
and or what do you want to do. So
you-
important.
Do you have to have $5 million to do this, or
Well, our firm minimum's $250,000, but what we see a lot is net worths of 500 millions or millions. I mean, we have all kinds that we work with, and we pair the expertise
Yes.
to the right advisor on our team. Whether you need the tax planning team expert to lead it,
yeah?
the legal, whatever it is.
And if you're a football fan, you know how important a coach is.
That's
so,
right.
Or any sports
we
fan.
are.
So,
We're like
you're
your
your coach.
coach. We work with
Absolutely.
you for you.
so all you have to do to get your complimentary retirement tune-up today is call or text the word schedule to 800-878-6223. It's that easy. And coming up, do you ever wonder if you can time the market? Well, Bill's going to answer that when we come back.
Welcome out to 5-Star Retirement. I'm your host, Bill Smith. And so we talk about the 5 key components of a good retirement plan, hence the name 5-Star. Those are income, investment, tax, healthcare, and estate or legacy. And so on this segment, we pick one idea, one topic, whether we come up with it or our viewers send them in. And I have a guest of one of our team members join us from our firm. And awesome guest joining me here today, Mr. Coley Neal. Coley Neal is a certified financial analyst. Did I get that right?
Chartered financial
Chartered
analyst.
financial
There you go.
analyst, and which is the hardest designation, bar none, to get. He leads our investment committee here at the firm and does an awesome job for our clients and the research that you do. We're going to talk about something today, Coley, that I think is huge, and you see this a lot. people retire, and we have an example here, okay? So we see this all the time. Joe comes in retires from Sherwin-Williams. And we see they have a huge amount of Sherwin-Williams in the 401k. They've got options, they've got grants, and they personally own Sherwin-Williams. So the concentration of wealth in a single stock is massive. Let's break down and talk about that from your perspective, and if somebody has that, what they should be doing.
Yeah, Bill, and that's a great example. And as we think about it, there are so many times we have these individuals, they've been executives, they're very knowledgeable of the company. And if you think about it from a behavioral standpoint, they have a little bit of overconfidence, but they have a strong emotional attachment to those particular holdings. They don't want to get rid of them. And sometimes with that emotional attachment, they have blinders on, and they're unable to see the overall risk that particular concentration poses on their overall wealth and the potential outcomes that could happen if there was a negative event to happen to that. And all I have to do is think back to Enron, Lehman, Bear Stearns.
In non-financial, the Titanic, Captain Earl Smith thought the ship was unsinkable. Mm-hmm. And so when you break that down, when our advisors sit down and build a plan for somebody, obviously we start with income and the foundation, then we look at investment and tax. When we look at the concentration of risk, like what is it that, yeah, they might be overconfident, but why do we find they either may or may not want to diversify?
A lot of times they don't want to diversify. It's because of that emotional attachment to the stock. They feel that they know the company really well. They think that they know exactly what's going to happen. They feel a comfort level with that. And by feeling that, again, they go back to the blinders. They are unable to see the overall lack of diversification within their holdings, and they fail to see what the potential impact could be.
And I know you've heard this one before. If you want to get rich, buy one stock. If you want to stay rich, diversify and own several. And never forget that. You can get where you're at today by having less concentration, but if you don't diversify, an Enron can happen, and you never know when that's around your corner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about you. It's about protecting your wealth and your money, and we can help you do just that. I encourage you to get a hold of our Retirement Tune-Up Financial Review. Can help you go to the next level. Very easy to get. Simply hit our website, wasmithfinancial.com, or call us and ask for it by name. We want the Retirement Tune-Up. Coley, awesome. Thanks,
sir.
Buddy. See you soon. Be right back. All right, welcome out to the Money Board. You know, we talked about 4 big money mistakes and how to prevent them. And the second thing we talked about with Coley, our investment strategist, is why falling in love with investments could really wreak havoc on your wealth and your retirement. All right, I want to talk about the third thing, and that is, can you time the market? Many of you are wanting to know, you know, something bad happens or the news, and maybe you don't feel great about our economic environment right now or political, whatever it might be, and you think, I'm going to outsmart this thing. I'm going to try and time the market. And I have the answer for you. So, the golden rule is, how do you win? You buy where? Low, and you sell high, right? Absolutely. Buy low, sell high. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, guess what? Wrong. You can't do it. You cannot time the market. You might be able to get half of it right, but you have to be right twice. You have to be right on the way out and on the way back in. So I want to talk about this for just a second. And I want to walk you through a scenario that maybe this happened to you. If you were to rewind back to any bad period, we could go all the way back to COVID. And if you went to cash, what happened? The market tanked. You weren't making anything in cash. And then within 3 to 4 months, the stock market skyrocketed back up. At that point, if you were the person that went to cash, you're saying, well, I can't go back in now because it's going to definitely go down from here. And so there's this constant psychological push and pull. And I know, you know that I'm talking to you if you did this. You probably left a lot of money on the table. And even as most recent as 2023, think about it. What was the headline news? We're going to have a recession. It's going to happen. And we had some volatility, didn't we, back then? Headlines were negative, and you go, ooh, I can time the market. I'm going to go to cash. And what happened? The market skyrocketed. You missed out on over 20% potential returns in the stock market. Now it could work the other way. You may have won by getting out. The market went down. But how do you win? You got to go back in and buy. So let's say you get out. Say September, August of 2019, before COVID. You got out high, but then the market tanked. Did you go back in? Most of you did not. So, how do you win the game? It's so easy. Number one, we are going to help you stay diversified. We are going to talk you off the cliff, and by having a plan in place and managing your emotions is so important. If the market only went one way, you don't need an advisor. What you need us for is to remind you that you have a plan and to talk it through. Having and protecting financial capital can get you through anything. So as long as your plan protects the money you're going to need to live on, that is a win. And we're going to help you do that through a comprehensive financial plan. It's so easy to do. Take that first step. Don't be one of the many that said, I wish I would have met you 5 years ago. Get the retirement tune-up. Text me. Simply grab your phone. Text me. 800-878-6223. Text the word schedule. Or go online. wasmithfinancial.com.
All right, Bill, we covered 3 important topics today. Protecting yourself from 4 big money mistakes, how falling in love with investments can wreck your retirement plan, and can timing the markets work for you?
No.
So where
We learned that.
Yeah. Where
And
do we
if
go?
you haven't yet, you will.
You will. Where do we go from here, Bill?
Well, a lot of people ask me this question. They say, well, what's next? And so we've made it so simple. And so over the last 20 years, we have refined a process. Mm-hmm. That process is called a retirement tune-up. It's an initial 45-minute to 1-hour meeting with one of our advisors. It's complimentary. Don't know if we can help you. It starts there. It's going to look at the 5 key areas of planning. It's going to assess how have you done? What do you need to do? Maybe you already have a plan. It's going to look at what is that plan missing? Are there holes? Are your advisors communicating? So it's 29 years of refining and developing and enhancing that process.
Yes.
Can be yours in less time than people spend planning an annual vacation. Isn't your money, your future, important?
Yeah. You've worked on that for 29 years. It will take you 29 seconds or less to pick up your phone and text the word schedule.
That's it.
To 800-878-6223 to get that complimentary retirement tune-up. Or you can call if you want to do it the old-fashioned way. But
well, yeah, you can, but I think, don't find yourself in a position where you say, I wish I would have.
Yeah, yeah. Because at this meeting, what's going to happen?
Well, it's like I said, we're going to sit down, we're going to kind of decide or really uncover, like, what's important to you. Decide, do you want to take the retirement tune-up kind of to that next level?
Yes.
It's going to look at 5 areas: income, investment, tax, healthcare, and legacy.
Yeah.
It's going to make sure that there's no holes in it. It's designed to help you go to the next level. And by the way, if we can't help you, we'll tell you.
Yep.
And
Love
we
it.
tell our clients all the time, if you don't feel confident with us, get another opinion.
Absolutely.
And you should be doing the same thing. If there's questions that you have, then you should get another one. The number one thing I hear is, Bill, I wish we would have met you 5 years ago.
So picture a day when you've got all this behind you. You have all your ducks in a row. The right hand knows what the left hand is doing. It is so simple. 800-878-6223 to get your retirement tune-up today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robin Swoboda.
I mean, picture that day when your spouse says, honey, thank you so much for putting this in place. And picture that day, Robin, when you can do what you want when you want.
I like it.
I'm Bill Smith. We'll see you again next week right here on Retirement Solutions.